Method parameters and arguments. A method works as follows. It accepts inputs, it performs some processes, and produces outputs. Let's write a sample method. We're going to make this static so that instantiation is not needed. Since we have a return type of int, we need a return statement of int as well. So C will be an integer, and we are simply going to add A and B together. So here, int A and int B will be the inputs. This statement right here, where we have an assignment and an addition operation, will be the process. The return statement will be your output. During method definition, we are creating sockets that determine what inputs are compatible with the socket. Just like in the picture, if the socket has 3 prongs, then the plug should also have 3 prongs. If there are only 2, then we need to use 2-prong plugs. So these are called parameters. So in our example, this is your socket, and according to our socket, inputs must be 2 integer values. So during method call, where we plug in the appropriate inputs, we call them arguments. So let's do a method call. Let's do the method call inside a println statement. Compute. This is our method call. Inside the parentheses, we need to supply or plug in the appropriate inputs. We now call them arguments. So what kind of argument is valid for this method? It depends on the parameters. Our parameters require 2 integer values. If I plug in 5.2, it's gonna give us an error. Okay. If I put in 2 string values, it's still gonna give us an error because it's a mismatch on our parameter. The arguments should always match the parameters. So let's supply the correct arguments. 5 and 6. Now we can build and run. The parameters determine how many and what types of inputs are acceptable. The arguments are the actual values that we supply as inputs to the method. Parameter, arguments.